The Red Raiders may be on bye this week, but the good news keeps rolling in for Texas Tech football as multiple Red Raiders are named to semifinalist and finalist award list. Who are they? We'll discuss that as well as take a look at the latest Big 12 title odds. Who does Vegas think will play the Red Raiders in Arlington for a Big 12 title on December 7th, as well as a potential name to watch for Texas Tech in this upcoming portal cycle? Let's discuss. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Appreciate y'all tuning into today's video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I know there's 53% of y'all that watch these videos that are 100% free, by the way, that don't subscribe to the channel. You want 100% free Texas Tech football and men's basketball content all year long. This is the place for you. All I ask you to do to help support the channel is simply hit that subscribe button. All right, without further ado, let's get over the promo and let's look at some award semifinalists and finalists for Texas Tech football. The first, the Doak Walker Award semifinalist, Cameron Dickey. Think about where Cam Dickey was coming into this season, okay, at the start of fall camp. He thinks to himself, he'll be a part of one of the best three-headed monsters in terms of an RB room in the country. But unfortunately, Quentin Joyner tears his ACL during camp, and both, well, Cam Dickey and Jacoby Williams, as true sophomores, are asked to carry the load. And both of them have done so phenomenally. It's great to see Cam Dickey, who has the most rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, as you can see on your screen from this Texas Tech football Twitter post, through week 12 in the Big 12. He is a guy that is one of the best running backs in the country, full stop, and deserves a ton of recognition, especially for taking that lead bruising running back role. And he can do a lot more than that. Him and Jacoby have created one of the more dynamic 1-2 punches in all of college football when it comes to the RB room. Next, we move on and we talk about a guy where we didn't really know what was going to happen for Texas Tech football when it came to the kicking game. Okay, you think about it, you go out and you get a guy in Upton Belafont who was at Buffalo but started his college career down in, well, Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the Crimson Tide. You bring in Stone Harrington, who has been on some teams, right, but he's been more of a kickoff specialist. Joey McGuire makes it an open competition, and now Stone Harrington is a semifinalist for the Lou Gorza Award. He's one of 14 kickers in the nation with 18-plus field goal makes, one of 9 to do so at a rate of 85% or better, and tied for third longest make in the country at 58 yards. He has multiple 50-yard field goals on the season, and as I tweeted during the UCF game, this man is a bona fide weapon at the kicking spot for the Red Raiders. It feels almost just automatic in terms of him 40 yards within. He can obviously make the deep ones as well. He has been one of the more pleasant surprises for the Red Raiders this historic football season for Texas Tech. Awesome to see him just even be named a semifinalist. Not sure if he'll win it, just like I don't think Cam Dickey will win the Doak Walker Award. I think that'll probably end up going to Jeremiah Love up at Notre Dame. But it's cool to see both of these guys get recognized on a national level because they have been more than dominant at their respective positions this season. Glad to see them get recognized. Two guys that have really epitomized the word dominant this season in every sense of the word. You see them on your screen right there. 2 of the 4 Lombardi finalists, Jacob Rodriguez and David Bailey, 2 guys that, in all honesty, maybe deserve to go to the Heisman Trophy ceremony up in New York City. I think it's more likely that Jacob Rodriguez gets there, but David Bailey has been the best pass rusher in college football this year, full stop. I will not argue with anyone on that, well, discussion. It's not really a discussion. It's just a matter of fact at this point. Here are the 4 finalists. Yes, this is not a semifinalist list like the 2 previously that we discussed for Stone Harrington and Cam Dickey. No, this is a finalist list. Texas Tech has 2 of the 4, 50% chance for the Red Raiders to win this award. It's David Bailey, it's Cassius Howell of Texas A&M, Caden Proctor of the University of Alabama, and then Jacob Rodriguez at Texas Tech. This goes to the best lineman in college football this season. I would suspect David Bailey is the favorite here. Maybe Jacob Rodriguez wins this one. but David Bailey is the nation's leader in sacks and easily the most dominant pass rusher in college football this season, while Jacob Rodriguez might just be the best defensive player in all of college football. So really cool to see these guys be named to this. And I would suspect, if I had to guess, one of them wins, but maybe Caden Proctor is the main competition there. All right. Before we get into the latest Big 12 odds, I kind of want to lay out why I'm talking about them. It's not because Texas Tech isn't the favorite. I think we all know that they are at this point, right? The Red Raiders are odds-on favorites by a lot. I think they have the highest odds to win their respective Power 4 conference compared to anybody else, okay? I believe it's minus 290. We'll see exactly here in a minute. The reason I want to look at this more so is to see who Vegas thinks Texas Tech is more than likely to play in the Big 12 title game. I know what you're saying to yourself. RC, you're getting ahead of yourself. You just got to go 1-0 each and every week. I get it. I really do. And I don't think we need to think that way because a lot of these guys in the room, not a lot of them, every single one of them thinks that way, right? And at the end of the day, I'm not making any impact on the field. That being said, right, I'm curious to see who Vegas thinks Texas Tech will more than likely play in that game if the Red Raiders were to get there, after obviously playing West Virginia and hopefully leaving Morgantown with a dominant win. These are, well, the latest Big 12 odds. You see them on your screen right now. As had a little bit of mess up there, but it's all right. See them on the screen. Minus 290, as I mentioned, for Texas Tech to win the conference. And they have BYU as a very sizable odds-on favorite for that number 2 spot when it comes to the Big 12 title game at plus 350, Utah plus 1,200, and then a massive gap from Utah to Arizona State over 2,000. And then the game I'm watching most this week is BYU and Cincinnati. That could have major, major implications on who Texas Tech could potentially play in the Big 12 title game out in Jerry World in just a couple of weeks if the Red Raiders were indeed to handle business in Morgantown against the West Virginia Mountaineers, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. All right. The last thing that I kind of want to talk about on today's video is, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I want to say this. I think that there's a way to look at this upcoming offseason and still be in the moment for what this Texas Tech football team needs. That being said, I think Texas Tech is building something special, not for just 2025, but so on and so forth, right? For the foreseeable future. And I think the Red Raiders do this better than really anybody, where it's Joey McGuire handles business when it comes to this team and making sure that they're prepared on the field as well as the coaches. And then you let James Blanchard, Brian Nance, and everybody in the scouting department do what they need to do when it comes to who are we going to prioritize in the portal. And speaking of the portal, Texas Tech is in an interesting spot this upcoming offseason. You think about it, Will Hammond, and we're specifically talking about the quarterback position. Will Hammond tore his ACL. He's going to be out 9 to 12 months. At the earliest, he's ready to go week 1 next year, but will he be 100% by then? I think it's a fair question to ask, right? Then you got Mitch Griffiths, who has 1 year of eligibility left. I would assume he comes back to wear the scarlet and black for his final season. And then you've got Lloyd Jones III, as well as Cannon coming in from the 2026 recruiting class, okay? I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say to anybody else. I don't want Mitch Griffiths, Lloyd Jones III, and then Cannon being the only 3 options there when Will Hammond is coming back from an ACL injury. I just don't want that, because Texas Tech is going to have a massive target on their back. And I understand some of y'all will say, well, they're not really playing anybody in non-con anyway. That'll give them plenty of time to get back. I hear you. But I also wonder what happens if Will Hammond's injury prolongs itself. Remember, he got hurt in the later part of October, okay? This is something that is going to linger potentially into maybe November of next year. Do you really want to risk not having a proven Power 4 quarterback in that room that can win at a very high level? My answer personally is hell no, and that's why we're talking about this news today. Pete Nakos and Steve Wiltfong of On3 reporting that Arizona State star quarterback Sam Leavitt's return to the program in 2026 is doubtful. Leavitt's camp is actively shopping the talented passer at a high level. Why am I bringing this up? because I think there is a very high likelihood that if Texas Tech adds a quarterback in the portal this upcoming cycle, it will be at the highest of the levels. I'm talking about the elites of the elites in terms of perception of the quarterback position, and Sam Leavitt has the chance to be the marquee quarterback in this portal cycle. There's no reason he shouldn't go into the portal with the market that he could present. And Texas Tech, I think, is going to be one of the teams that goes after him heavily. Does that mean the Red Raiders are going to land him? No, I'm not saying that at all, but I do think the Red Raiders are doing their due diligence. I think they're going to be proactive in this and see what the number is. They obviously know him very well in terms of playing him in the Big 12. Obviously, he's the lone blemish on this 2025 team's record when it comes to losing to Arizona State. And Sam Leavitt is a guy where it comes to the injury front. I hear you, but Sam Leavitt is also going to be one of the few quarterbacks, if maybe the only quarterback in this portal cycle that has proven himself to be a college football playoff type quarterback. Okay. He's that type of player. And you can bring him in and not rush Will Hammond back. And I say bring him in. I'm talking about a marquee name at the highest of the Power 4 levels. You know, maybe a Brendan Sorsby type, whatever it is, right? Sam Leavitt is the example right now because it sounds like he's going to enter the portal. I think Texas Tech is going to be aggressive when it comes to the quarterback position. I'm not saying they're going to land Sam Leavitt in particular, but I do think Texas Tech is going to be proactive at the highest level of the quarterback position in the portal, because I think you have to be, and you have to be proactive in the sense of you can't go into next season just hoping Will Hammond will be 100% from the jump when he comes back. I just don't think you can do it. So why not go out and get a guy that is a proven winner, and you allow Will Hammond almost like an extra redshirt year next year to make sure that ACL is good. And then in 2027, here's the keys to the car. Will, go lead us to the promised land. I think that that's what Texas Tech is thinking. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong. But I do think Texas Tech is going to be hyper aggressive at the highest level when it comes to landing a quarterback in this portal cycle. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but I think there's a chance that Texas Tech could land Sam Leavitt. Is it very high? Probably not. But I do think they'll definitely be firmly in the mix and in the discussion to, persuade him to come to Lubbock, Texas and play in the Scarlet and Black. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button, as hitting that subscribe button is the best way to help support this channel. I'm looking at you, 53%ers. Yeah, you know who you are. You watch the videos at least once or twice, and then you don't hit that subscribe button. What are we doing? You want 100% free Texas Tech content all year long, whether it's on the gridiron, the hardwood, the portal? Hey, that's going to be heating up. High school recruiting or anything in between? Come join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube right here in the Red and Black Report. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, stay safe and Wreck 'em Tech.